Howdy, 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 howdy. So, today we are making a Fursona, or we're like talking about how to make a Fursona. To start, what is the word? It's from the word persona, but furry edition. And Fursona means the aspect of a person's character that they show to other people, especially when their real character is different. That is from Oxford Dictionary. So to start, we're making a reference sheet specifically for this video. A reference sheet looks like this. It is typically unshaded with just basic colors of your character. The reason why it's unshaded is for the legibility for the people that you commission, or if you're going to make a suit, the shadows don't get confused for markings. That's the most important part. Fursuit reference sheets typically need a front, back, and a side view. So for simplicity's sake, we're going to start with a single view and go from there. So first, pick a species. Remember, this isn't forever, so you can change your mind. You can start with your favorite animal, or if there's like a animal that you're like, oh, this has a cool like design feature that I want to draw or that I want to see a lot. Pick that. Second is design. So as far as like personas, like it could be as similar or different from yourself as you like. There aren't a lot of rules. You can have as many like personas as you want, or as little as you want. You can have 0, honestly. It doesn't revoke your furry card. So third step would be to make an outline of your character. If you cannot or don't feel like drawing the lines, no worries. There are a lot of free to use and pay to use bases. Alright, so for the bases, you can go to trusty old Google. Let's do K-hip K9 base. K9 base pack. Oh, these are free to use, cool. So yeah, you could just download them. For personal use, customs, you can change the line art. You don't have to credit me, but you may not remove my watermark. Usually people have their terms, and just as long as you follow them, everything should be all good. It looks like they have different ear types, and then like they have different fuzzy types, so they look like you can adapt them into different species as well. And I know deviant art is another one. F2U, say feline. So you can barely see them, but that's because they're transparent files, which are perfect for drawing under. But for visibility's sake, let's do this one. Because it's free to use, please do not remove. It tells you where to download. You may not sell the base. Please do not remove the watermark. Do not label us. Pay to use. Now, as an example, I have this possum line art I made. So you have the base, which is the gray part, and if you make a new layer, whoops, if you make a new layer and then you clip it, it has this red thing. Other art applications have a similar thing. It's all called clipping. And let's pretend you want this blue, and then you just start coloring. Okay, I totally forgot it was this brush, but you get the idea, right? Beautiful. Or alternatively, you can remove the gray, print it out, and then color it with, I don't know, just like color pencils, crayons, whatever you have. Just as long as it's legible, and then you can show a commissioner and they'll understand what's going on. You could also add notes to it as well. I'll have this possum available on my website. It will be free to use. Just don't remove the watermark and just use it for personal use. So this is the reference sheet I use for Spicy. It's a little bit older, so the style's a little bit different, but I like to add the name, the species, because sometimes, like if it's very stylized, it's hard to tell. I've definitely been confused for a mouse, so just keep it clear. Adding pronouns helps. Likes, I feel like helps build the character and create a vibe, especially if it's like an artistic liberty commission. So I put autumn, foggy, trees, hot drinks, pink, and then we have good old Mako shark plushie here. I put the glasses, and then just put wears baggy hoodies often. It's not specifically this hoodie. And the color palettes, I think, make it easier just to keep everything together. You're gonna add this with as many details as you want, and luckily you don't have to draw every single one of them. A few questions I like to ask myself during the design process is if I want to make a fursuit or a kigu, so I try to keep in mind how many different colors I need to buy. Also for markings, a lot of markings can make a project, like a suit, really expensive, or if you're doing it yourself, just very time consuming. So I try to keep that in mind. One thing I didn't keep in mind was the fur color for Spicy, this possum. Weirdly enough, there's not a lot of muted purples. I didn't find that out until later, but the more you know, you know? And lastly, if you're really struggling with making a design, adopts are a thing. These are a little tricky because there's a lot of stolen designs that can be resold by people. One of my recommendations would be to follow an artist that you like, see if they make adopts. The other one is that I feel like is a little more trusted. Unfortunately, it's a closed beta. So this is Toy House. I have heard that a lot of folks do have invite codes. That's how I was able to get mine. Just ask around. I've seen people just like post on Twitter, or like if you're on a social media, you make a journal and be like, hey, does anybody have an invite code? They might be able to help you. It's worth a try. But I think it's a little bit more reliable because Toy House likes to double check a lot, and then people can easily report if the design is stolen. And then when you look at designs, you can also see how often they've been traded, resold, if you're the first owner. It's pretty handy in my opinion. So that is it for the video. If you want to level up your design a bit, looking into character design courses, there's some free on YouTube. It will get into more specifics like color, design, shape, etc, etc. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. Go forth and make some awesome Fursonas. And good luck on your furry endeavors. Bye!